Hello everyone, I'm now live. I'm Elisha Kraus. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, be sure to click below to subscribe and probably have some new subscribers thanks to recent videos and the interest in the Cuties movie. I hope you guys did not trouble yourselves anymore by watching it, but I'm not going to be talking about Cuties today. I'm going to be talking about the recent Supreme Court vacancy with the unfortunate death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg from pancreatic cancer. Prayers out to her family. I don't feel qualified to talk about the legality and the greatness of the impact that she had. Ilya Shapiro, who's a friend over at the Cato Institute, has talked about how important she was specifically to women and women's issues with the court. And I think that she, whether you agree with her or not, you can offer prayers for her and her family, that she rest in peace. And I really think I'm taking this as a time to be like, okay, let's check in with friends, let's check in with loved ones, and let's remember the relationship that she and Antonin Scalia had and the friendship that they were able to have despite the fact that they disagreed on everything. There's a photo, I think Meghan McCain and Ken Jeong and other people were posting it, of a book, and it's from a biography about Antonin Scalia, and the author was talking about, well, you buy Ruth Bader Ginsburg birthday flowers every year, but when has she ever, changed her vote to side for you on a case because you get her 24 birthday roses? And Scalia, smiled and said, some things are more important than votes. So I know it's a crazy election year. I am very passionate about making sure we get the right person to be nominated to take Ruth Bader Ginsburg's spot, but I think that we can do that with a level of humanity and kindness and understanding, and please no conspiracy theories here. So I wanted to talk about the three people whose names are being tossed around, but really the two women that are being considered. Amul Thapar, I think he's with the 7th Circuit. He's from Michigan. His name has been kind of put out there, but the two women that consistently the Washington Post, Politico, Daily Mail, Fox News, and others are saying that they're hearing that are going to be the likely nominees to take RBG's spot are likely only Amy Coney Barrett and Barbara Lagoa. Barbara Lagoa is of Cuban descent. She's from Florida. She worked on the Supreme Court there. She was nominated by DeSantis, the current governor there. Apparently, DeSantis is a huge fan of hers. She was recently confirmed in December by the Senate in like 85-16 vote. So I think 26 Democrats came over and voted for her. And of course, Amy Coney Barrett is known really for the bigotry from people like Senator Dianne Feinstein, who said that the dogma was rich within her, or the dogma was great within her, with no evidence to show that other than the fact that she was a professor at a Catholic university, is a Catholic woman who has 5 biological kids and 2 adopted ones. But I really want to talk about maybe 3 reasons why I think that these women are going to be good picks for President Trump. People are saying that he wants to make a pick this week before the first presidential debate. People have said that it could potentially come tomorrow, Monday, or the next day, Tuesday. And it'll be interesting to see which one he picks. And I would actually argue that picking a woman is a fantastic thing. If you know me, you know that I like to consider myself a feminist, and I think my definition of being a feminist is making sure that men and women are actually treated equal and judged based on our qualifications and not just our hoo-has. So I've seen some conservatives online say, well, why are we just nominating a woman to fill the place of a woman? That's not how it should work. But point number 1 of why I actually think either of these women would be a good pick is because politics are important. And I think oftentimes people in the Republican Party and in the conservative movement don't understand that part of politics is optics. And sometimes optics are important, especially in an election year. And the optics of Trump choosing a female, I think, does 2 things potentially for him. 1, it doesn't hurt him with the Republican suburban women that we've seen in areas like Texas and even some in Florida and in Georgia going the way of either not voting or voting for Democrats because they're disenfranchised with the president and his remarks overall. So I think him choosing a woman to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg isn't a bad idea because of the optics of that. And I think it also does another thing that I talk about a lot on campuses when I speak. It highlights the hypocrisy of the left when they say that they are yes all women. Because they're going to be yes all women until it's a conservative Catholic mom like Barbara Lagoa or Amy Coney Barrett. And then their bigotry and their misogyny is going to show. And those optics, I think, are also beneficial to the conservative movement and the Republican Party. they're going to go full throttle and they're going to expose their double standard and their sexism and their bigotry towards these nominees if President Trump chooses that. And I think that politically, that's a win for our movement. And if those women can handle it, more power to them, which leads me to point number 2. Both of these women have gone through Senate confirmations before. And it ties into point 1, because politics is an important part of getting a nominee through. Thank God our founding fathers gave us the 3 different branches of government. I'm sure you guys, if you're watching, you know this because you're political geeks like me, but the president nominates somebody to be in the Supreme Court and the Senate has to confirm. The Republican has the majority of the Senate right now. Mitch McConnell probably has no hesitation working with the president and trying to put a nominee through as quickly as possible. And both of these women have gone through Senate confirmation before. Amy Coney Barrett had to deal with that awful bigotry from people about her and her Catholic faith and her level of experience before. Barbara Lagoa has served on a judicial level in her state and now at the appellate level. And it requires relationships and finesse and kind of a thick skin to be able to make it through the nomination process. And I think that since both of these women have been through the nomination process in the past, that their finesse and their ability to answer questions and not crack under pressure and not give the left the negative talking points that they could try to clip out and use, but maybe giving the right good talking points that we could clip out and use is going to be important. And I think that this will also allow maybe Republicans a chance down ballot. As you know, if you've watched any of these videos, down ballot is really important, and this ties into point 2. Senate pressure is going to be on the members of the Judiciary Committee and then the Senate as a whole. And there are still some Democratic senators on that committee that live in more purple districts. And so their people, if they pick up the phone and start to apply pressure on them, this could potentially affect their reactions, and they know this, their reactions and their questions and their votes on this committee, and then when that goes to the whole Senate, is going to affect their races. And this is where politics is going to be key. And this is another reason why I think it'd be beneficial, because it just is a bad look. Like Kamala Harris could lie. Cory Booker could straight up lie and lambaste Brett Kavanaugh. And it's different because he's an older, well-to-do white dude, right? But that optic isn't going to be as good when you have Dianne Feinstein going after Amy Coney Barrett, right? That optic isn't going to be as good if it's Manchin, who probably wouldn't do that anyway, or even Cory Booker or other members of the Democratic judiciary going after Barbara Lagoa and questioning her loyalty or her background when she is a Latina woman. And I think that this is point number 2, is like they've been through this before. I think they have the finesse and the ability to handle this, and the optics of choosing a woman, once again guys, we are political here, are gonna be good, I think, for our side. And then the third thing is their records. I'm a big fan of records. Part of the reason I didn't vote for Donald Trump in the primary and then in the general election in 2016 is because I had no record to go off of. And the things that I did have to go off of, like the things that he had said publicly, the things that he had said on television, the things that he had tweeted, even the people that he surrounded himself with, the way that he treated women, I was not a fan of. I voted for Ted Cruz in the primary and then later wrote in Evan McMullin, which is my biggest regret ever. I keep telling myself I voted for Mindy Finn and not him, but I digress. But the point is part of the reason why I voted for Ted Cruz in the primary was because I knew Ted Cruz's record. And so here we can look at the records of Amy Coney Barrett, who I think has over 100 cases come across her desk during her time serving on the 7th Circuit Court. I haven't reviewed all of her cases, and I'm not an attorney like my brother from another mother, Ben Shapiro, but some of the ones that I have reviewed of those 100 cases, I'm a fan of her decision making. And this ties into when I was looking at Barbara Lagoa's records as well, and some of the decisions that she had written the dissent on, or that she had written in the majority on. People will make this about Roe v. Wade, and this is not all about Roe v. Wade. And I'm a very pro-life person, and I think we've seen incredible strides that have happened on local levels when it comes to dismantling people's ability to murder babies in the womb. But a lot of justices, and Lagoa's record shows this, they're not just making decisions when it comes to Roe v. Wade or life issues. They're making issues when it comes to basic law and order. They're making decisions when it comes to issues of liberty and justice on a broader scale. They're making a lot of decisions when it comes to, like Fifth Amendment issues like property rights and lawsuits and corporate cases and immigration and how to try terrorists and the constitutionality of those things. It would appear to me that both of these women, thank God, kind of adhere to the founders' ideas and making sure that they're making decisions constitutionally and not letting their political opinion get in the way. And I think consistently we've seen that when Republican presidents like Bush and even Trump choose somebody that's a little more squishy, we're not always pleased with their decisions. And nobody is perfect, so we're not going to always be pleased with every single decision. Chief Justice Roberts. But I think that you can look at these women's records and you can pull from those to really determine how they're going to act should they end up being on the Supreme Court and serving life sentences, which, by the way, I think they're both in their early 50s. And since this is a life appointment, they could serve potentially for 30 years or more unless they, heaven forbid, die or, choose to retire like some have done. So I love that the Founding Fathers gave us checks and balances. They gave us all of these branches to figure things out and work things out and debate it out. But I really think that these two women, for those three reasons, the optics of the politics, the fact that they've both been through Senate confirmation, I don't think that they're going to screw up or say something dumb on camera, and then also the records that I have seen and reviewed, I think that they are capable, I think that they are qualified, and I think that they would be good options for the president to pick. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know if you think it should be a dude. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care if it's a dude or a girl, but I think that these women and the optics of it is a really good opportunity for Republicans that we should not pass up right now. Okay, I will see y'all soon, and thanks for watching.